Hi guys. So it is 2:37 a.m. I did not get my sheepy done or the ear warmer because I was paying bills, and I went on Michael's to see if I could order some yarn that I needed for some orders, which I did be able to, and that is fabulous. I actually did it online and then I could pick it up tomorrow. And because we're going off tomorrow and all that good stuff, I thought, well, I'm up making this sheepy. I may as well record and yammer away with you while I'm making this sheep. So here I am. So I'll show you in a second what I got going on here. I would have had this done a long time ago, but I procrastinated. So, here I am. Like a dip. Alright, this heat's a little hot. So I have a body, a head, ears, and some limbs. So now I'm going to put everything together and put the fleece on, sew all the loops on, which I had to go, and I'm glad I did, because I would have just done something completely different. Carrie has a video on YouTube showing how she does her animal fleece. Like I said, thank the Lord I watched it, or I would have been in trouble. I would have just kept going and going and going, and that's not what you're supposed to do. So I know some of you that I follow, like Summer, for example, does amigurumi. I know Wanda does it. I'm trying to think if I remember anybody else. No catchy name. Ella does it. Jane, I don't know if you do it or not. I know you do the hats, but I don't know that I've ever seen you do actual critters. That doesn't mean you don't do them, of course. I just don't recall seeing it. Oh, thank God that's a dull needle. I just stabbed my chin. What a reach. Oh, shoot, I shouldn't have cut that off. That's okay. See, when I talk and work, it don't work. I shouldn't have cut that off. I need to sew the head on. But that's all right. It isn't like I can't reattach it. So, have any of you been watching anything regarding that Chris Watts? I am just, I guess, fascinated and flabbergasted all at the same time over this whole case. Now, there this guy is, beautiful wife, 2 precious little girls, baby on the way, his little boy. He finds himself another woman and decides his family's in the way, and he kills them. Not only does he kill these beautiful babies, he kills his pregnant wife. And what floors me the most is that if you want out of your marriage, first of all, get out of your marriage. And don't say it's hard or whatever. I'm not saying you, I'm saying him. I did it. I had nothing. I had $600 a month income, and I had to wait from March till October when I finally could find a place where I could take my dog, because I wasn't leaving her. No way. She was my baby. And I literally lived in hell. He was a not good person. He was definitely not the person I thought I loved at one time. Let me put it to you that way. But I, kill him? No. Get out was my solution. I just don't understand how you can take and snuff the life out of your babies. I don't. 4 and a 2-year-old child. And they said that Cece, the 4-year-old, because I've been watching everything that's being released on YouTube, the cop cam, the interrogation when he confessed in the police station. Been watching it all. And the coroner's report said that Cece, the eldest child, was fighting for her life so hard, she literally bit her own tongue doggone near off, that it was so cut up and stuff. They were tucked into bed in their jammies and I think freshly bathed by Mom. Can you imagine being tucked in by your parents and suddenly you wake to your father over top of you, and how could she understand what was going on at 4 years old? All she knew was that she was in trouble, you know, and she only knew that because natural instinct kicked in. I just, for the life of me, don't understand how that happens. You got to be one sick ticket. And if you look at him, he's a sick ticket. You could tell by looking at him. The shame of it is, it's a shame for Shanann, but it's also a shame for those babies. And, of course, the family left behind. Even Chris's parents are, like, devastated. Of course they would be. They love those babies. They love Shanann. They were looking forward to little Nico. And then the sicko, stupid sicko at that, takes his little girls and shoves them into oil drums at his job. The eldest, Cece, it was an 8-inch diameter hole from what I remember that she had to be shoved into, and he cut her hiney all up trying to shove this poor baby into this hole of the tank. Her body absorbed oil and stuff, and the bloating and the condition of her body was what was described as horrific. I mean, it had to be horrific. How can you... I don't... You know, I've always been interested in crime and serial killing and stuff like that, but honestly, I don't know that I could be one of the detectives and stuff that find, especially a child. I think I would go... They'd have to do something with me. I don't think I could ever live through something like that. So, to the men and women that do that every day, God bless them and kudos to them, because I certainly couldn't. They'd definitely be putting me in a nut ward after I saw a child like that. I couldn't even... I couldn't. I just couldn't. It would kill me. So, I think I made this too short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Hold on a second, guys. I gotta count. Nope, it's right. Okay. Just looked odd. Yeah, I just can't even imagine how a father or a mother, lots of mothers kill their babies too. How do you do that and live with yourself? It floors me. So I was watching one of the things the other night on The Family, and they played Sarah McLachlan's Arms of the Angel, which is a sad song, and it always makes me think of the animal abuse commercials. I usually turn, whenever I hear that song, I turn it because all I see is abused animals because of them commercials. And it was showing pictures of little Cece and Bella. So now, on top of seeing abused animals, when I hear that song, I'm going to see those two beautiful little girls who never had a chance. Horrific, just horrific. I always say I'm so grateful for the people that I was fortunate enough to be my parent and love me. Extremely grateful. Can you just imagine? So many people out there wanting children, and her mother wanted them Their mother wanted them desperately, that she was a good mom. He tried to say that she killed them, and in his insane rage, he retaliated. Bull crap. I'll never believe that as long as I live. I would have to see absolute concrete visual proof, and the medical exam had to prove it was him. I didn't get that far, but he didn't get convicted because it could have been Shanann. Let me tell you that. I'll just never understand. And I know I keep repeating that, but it's true. How can you in your mind even comprehend something like that? Let alone know that it's reality. I mean, God almighty. You have to be the devil incarnate to do something like that. To even consider hurting your children. And even your wife. I mean, okay. People get to the point where whatever, but do you have to kill somebody? Seriously, get out. Get out and don't look back. Why must you kill somebody? I don't get it. I don't ever want to get it, to be honest with you. I don't ever want to understand. Well, maybe if we did understand, we could prevent things. But how much of a psychopath's mind do you want into before you yourself go a little psycho? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm into serial killers and stuff, but I cannot stomach children being hurt. Elderly people, children, animals, all of them are innocent. And it does something to me. I probably shouldn't be following this case because it is doing something to me. It's really upsetting me to the point where I broke down the other day. I was like devastated. And we should be devastated. I mean, if you can watch something like that and not be devastated, gotta wonder what would be wrong with you. But yeah, I've been following everything, and my opinion is wholeheartedly he's guilty. You can look at him and see a sick ticket. And a lot of the videos are entitled, His Body Language Gives Him Away. Spot on. And the neighbor saw right through him. The neighbor told the cop right out. That dude's hiding something. Nobody fidgets and dances and does the stuff he was doing if they're not guilty. He was afraid he was going to be seen on that surveillance camera because he never realized that the surveillance camera of his neighbor could see in the backyard, which is where he parked to load all 3 bodies and then take them and dump them at his work site. It's just, I don't know. Now, some are saying, and I don't know enough about her, I haven't even watched the interviews yet of her because I've been too busy doing that, and I want to see some of Shanann's like text messages and stuff like that. I want to look at that stuff. But the girlfriend, they're saying, why wasn't she checked into more? And apparently somebody said that sneakily they are delving more into that concept. Because I wonder myself, how could she, it is possible because there are people that are sinister and hide things. Serial killers and psychopaths live among us every day, and we don't know it till it's too late. But you would think in some way, shape, or form she might have known he was, I don't know. How could she not know is what I keep playing in my mind. I mean, I just don't understand it. But I guess it's not for me to understand. I just pray that, I know that they're in heaven, but I pray that they didn't suffer too much before they went to God. Just a tragedy. So, do you guys follow anything like that? Do you like crime and serial killer stuff? Now, you have to understand. You don't have to understand, but I grew up with that. My parents always had, it wasn't ID then, I forget what it was called, but they always had that on the TV. And Wynn went up to my parents a little bit ago. I forget why. He went up with my dad for something. Did they go hunting or I don't know. And he came home and he said, now I know where you get it from. I said, get what from? He said, I walked in the house and guess what your mom had on TV? And I started laughing. I said, ID? He said, you got that right. And that's what my mom watched all day long, was the investigational discovery. That's usually what I have on here. I turned it off tonight because I was trying to catch up on YouTube videos, and the show that was on I had seen earlier, so I didn't really need to watch it again. Joe Kenda was on, which we love Joe Kenda, but I pretty well seen every one of them. And I missed the New Deadly Women because I was watching Crystal and Eric do the giveaway update, which is fine. I have on demand. So it was just funny. But yeah, I grew up with that. I mean, and to me, the more you know about stuff like that, the more you're aware and the safer you'll be. That's how I see that. My mom was an MP in the military. She has a degree in criminal justice. My dad and grandfather were town cops. It's in my blood. My dream was always to be like Jodie Foster, work for the FBI and track serial killers. But now, in my old age, I'm glad I didn't, because, like Joe Kenda says, there are some things you just can't unsee. I'm sure they're haunted every day by the things that they see out in the field. I simply can't imagine. That doesn't mean I don't still, like, if there's a documentary on the Green River Killer, John Wayne Gacy, whatever, I'm the first one tuning in, I bet. Because I will always love stuff like that. But I definitely don't love what they do, and I definitely don't ever condone what they did. I just, you know, you got to be born like that. What normal, rational person in their right mind can think of even the horror that they inflict on their victims? Seriously, just like Chris Watts. How can you be normal and slaughter your children? How? You know, I remember Jackson was a baby, and we have a sliding patio door, which I hate. And he didn't see Jackie, and he shut the patio door on him. Well, not on him, a little bit on his arm. His hand was there. And Jackie let out a scream, and I jumped all over Chucky. Like, he was ready to cry from doing it alone, and then I jumped down his throat. How could you? And I was so upset. I reacted like a concerned mother because her child screamed in pain. And that's my cat. Tell me again how a father or a mother can harm the child that they gave life. I don't understand it. I don't. How can you give them up? How can you hurt them? Like, why do you think I have 9 cats? Because I rescued them. And when I, like, 7 of those 9 cats, I bottle fed. Well, when the time came for them to be weaned, there was no way on God's green earth I was sending them into the world where there was uncertainty of their fate. I couldn't do it. I kept them. There was no way. And my husband knew it. He was like, them cats ain't going nowhere, are they? I'm like, no. I couldn't. I bottle fed them. I made them go potty. I raised them. I made them sustain life. And to send them out to a fate unknown, I couldn't do. And that's why I just don't understand. I mean, I've said it in a couple other videos. I got involved with my ex-husband. He had 2 daughters, one of which she was 4 at the time, 3.5, 4. And I wasn't married to him then, but we got custody of her when she was 8. And we got married in 2000, so she was 10. And I left her father when she was 14. But I raised her from 8 to 14 every day, all day. And before I left him, I filed custody papers. Before I even did anything with the divorce, I filed custody papers for my stepdaughter. And I did get partial physical custody of my daughter. So, yeah, it just eludes me how people can be so sickening and cruel. I'm just placing this head up. I'll show you in a minute. He'll be all sewn together in a second. And then I'm going to show you again when the fleece is on and he's all finished. I might put a bow around his neck. I don't know. Depends on what the fleece, like if it's really that thick, what I'm going to do. But this is, I showed you earlier in my other video, this is Carrie Lord's, I forget what sheet. And I took my book out because I didn't want it. My book has to be pristine. I don't like my magazines bent or nothing. I get like a crazy person. That makes me mad. Oh my God. So when I handed my book to Win to pick a pattern, I said, I want this book, and I'm like holding it back, to come back to my hands in the same immaculate, pristine condition. He's like, well, you stop. I'm like, no. My book has to look like that or I'm going to go batshit crazy. And I didn't mean to be like that, but I'm telling you, you know, people have pet peeves. That's one of mine. I like my books and things like that to be kept nicely. And her books are not cheap. They shouldn't be either. They're worth every penny. And like I said, you cannot sell any of her items that you make from her patterns. But you can do what I'm doing and give them away. Like this is going at the family Christmas party auction. And at some point I might make one for my giveaways on my YouTube channel, which is coming soon. 500 subscribers. Help me get there and we'll have a nice giveaway. But yeah, I love these animals of hers. The next one I'd like to make is a koala bear. She has 2 different koala bear patterns. I have them both. One's in the Edwards Menagerie book, and one was just by itself. Alright, get ready for this to die for, sheepy sheep. Are you ready? Oh, I don't need that right now. Here he is. Here's my sheepy sheep. All ready to put the fleece on him. Cute as a button. And I did sew the limbs in place. And he does sit nice. He is weighted. Head's a little floppy, but that's okay. I don't know if you can hear that. That's my weighting materials in the bottom. Now you take and you attach the fleece, which is going to take me a while. So what I'm going to do is cut it off here, and I'll be back with the finished product. I'll show it, and then I'm going to sign off for Vlogmas Day 15. I'll be back. Okay, I am back. Let's see. 5 hours later. It was 3:19 when I started to put the fleece on this sheep. And it is now 7:52. I never got any sleep again because I had to finish it. I had to have it for the party. And here I am, finally done. And I still got to make my sister-in-law's ear warmer. Lord help me. But every little stitch was worth it when y'all see this to die for sheepy sheep. Everybody's going to go crazy at this party, I think. Okay. Are you ready? Dun, da, da. Look at him. Is he not gorgeous? I put a little tag and a rusty bell on. I gave him the name Hank, 2018. And on the back I put, with Yarn and Hook, Chuck and Cheryl, Bolt's Christmas Party. So whoever gets him will always remember where he came from and who made him. Okay, there he is. He's a nice size too. I mean, he's beautiful. And you know, if Carrie Lord would let us, if Carrie would let people sell these, like especially something like this, I'd have to charge $250 just for a sheep because it took 5 hours to do the fleece. Holy Moses. But I mean, he's gorgeous. He was worth every stitch. So there you go, guys. That is the end of my Vlogmas Day 15. I'll be back tomorrow at some point with a new vlog. And everybody have a great Saturday, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Please don't forget to take a moment and subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely hit the notification bell so you'll get notified each and every time I upload. And please leave a comment so I can get to know you too, as you are getting to know me, and share with your social media family and friends. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.